Say pizza to drunks. No to yes. Feliz por dentro, triste por fora, como é que é? Feliz por dentro, fora por dentro. Wait, what? Ratinho dançando. Ratinho dançando. Boa noite. Live, é um efeitinho. Fale com o Otto, vamos falar com o Otto. Otto! Desliga isso! Desliga, Otto! Vai estabilizar, desliga! Chega o Miranha.
What
Sortando
do we know,
teia.
Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone.
Não,
And that ain't like her,
a Marta
Clive.
sumiu.
Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip round the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing. Complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
Vamos lá então, né? Repouso da Marta. Morta. Aí chega lá, tá o Batman, o Superman saindo na mão. O Lex Luthor do Facebook, né?
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
Fucking Imperials.
Best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Let's get you to a physical.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling.
Nossa senhora.
Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up. up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields.
The bastards caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds. Poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far. Even to the Empire.
Give me thunder!
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
Esses shield, esses escudos de metigela.
Is that all of them?
I think so. I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive. Abbot.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cuttings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Mother to beg Sid's aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid, where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Cara, parabéns, né? O padre, o cara que cuidava do negócio lá, ia... Eita, tem um olho gigante flutuando, um bicho feio. Ia sozinho trazer os negócios. Como é que ele fazia com esses monte de bicho que ataca todo mundo? Ariman. De vez em quando, Clive pode se deparar com criaturas maiores, mais rápidas e mais ferozes do que o normal. Fugir sempre é uma opção, porém derrotar essas ameaças notórias podem render, além de renome, materiais raros que podem ser usados para criar novos equipamentos e melhorar itens existentes.
Do you think it's spotted us, Torgal? What do I say? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball.
Você derrotou ameaça notória. É, mas era um beholder meio mais ou menos, né? Subiria de nível. É um beholder morcego. Beholder teve um filho com um morcego. É um beholder sério, exatamente.
That must be the bridge.
Sim, aquela deve ser a ponte. Eu quero pegar o item ali primeiro.
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
Quero voltar de TP pra taverna. E aí, Marta?
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
E aí, mais um pouquinho de experiência, mais um pouquinho de não sei o que é aquela estrela, acho que é renome aparentemente.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
We're not to move.
Oi! You there! Don't just pass! You handy with that sword of yours? Course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds? Hmm? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos. Fighting bandits.
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now, they're back, looking to settle the score. Oh, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
All right.
There's a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals. And don't worry, you'll know her when you see her right enough.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. And give those no-good bastards a hiding from me.
Bora lá então ajudar os Chocobo. Os Chocobo herói.
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo. A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way. These chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right then. But don't say I didn't warn you. safe now. White Hart, I presume.
Oh, Chocobo. Chacoalhaninho.
Do you know her, boy?
Tá chacoalhaninho.
That scar. It couldn't be. Ambrosia.
Ambrosia.
It is you. You survived.
Ela chacoalha porque ela gosta dele. Ela dá chacoalhadinha de um lado pro outro.
And you found yourself a flock.
Olha lá a chacoalhadinha dela. Ó.
Oi! Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
É meio que nasceu,
No matter who you are, you done right by me.
what is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon.
Meio que sim, meio que eu nasci lord, mas daí ó,
Told you. And it
minha mãe
seems her
decidiu fazer
pals
merda e
agree.
cagou em tudo.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are. Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Ah, few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old White
Bah.
Hart. Oh, I'll be sad to
Virou-
see her
virou
go,
gaúcho.
of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides. Don't you worry, we'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, White Hart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
Que quit e concordância. Muito bom. Arreio da Ambrósia. Chocobo desbloqueado. Vamos voltar pro esconderijo.
Where's Gav?
I hear there's trouble.
Oh, Gav.
Ah, Clive! How I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
Well, the two nations beat their shields. The rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals. Four Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
Coitado do Gavi, ficou sem zóio. A bancada do Otto já está aberta. Desliga, Otto! Relatórios aliados, sussurro do benfeitor, quadro de caçada. Ah, então se eu ganhar renome, a galera faz doação pra mim. Legal.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
I think it's all right. Touch him.
What do you need?
É, esse daí não só, felizmente.
What do you want? Yeah, that should do you. You can thank me later. That it? Fine.
Me batendo um pouco nesse esconderijo, né? Porque os caras foram se esconder numa nave gigantesca no meio do mar. Parece ser um lugar muito assim, muito discreto e escondido, mas tudo bem.
So Martha's all right. Doesn't sound like anywhere is safe.
Oh, Clive. Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any?
Sim, quero.
Your benefactors are a generous lot. You earned this. All yours.
Anel do Berserker.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
Oh, Moogle.
Ah, yes. Our mysterious Moogle friend. Nectar, was it? I'll stick with Nectar if it's all the same to you. What seems to be the matter? The hunt board? It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know? Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Curse-breakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Já entendi. Vamos ver o quadro de caça, vamos ver se a gente tem alguma caçada pra fazer. A gente fez uma. Que foi esse daqui. Caraca, a gente tem o Anjo da Morte e Belfegor. Nomes legais. Mirada alumiada, Sambrak. Alumiado tá certo, não tá errado não. O punho rompido, Rosária, tá. Vamos tentar fazer essa uma aqui do Anjo da Morte? Então vamos tentar fazer o do Anjo da Morte então. Mirada alumiada em Sambrak. Não, vamos... Putz, ter que ir lá dentro comprar mais umas poçãozinhas.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
Is it business or pleasure?
Olha, tem elixir agora.
You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Comprar dois.
Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Qual é o nome do lugar, não? Que eu esqueci. Mirada alumiada? Não, onde é que fica? Putz, eu não vou poder ir? Nossa, eu não vou poder ir. Vou fazer isso aqui agora. Aqui tá travado por causa da missão principal. Tem que ser depois. Mirada iluminada em Sambrak. Tá, é por aqui, ó. Beleza, mas eu vou ter que ver depois. Eu vou ter que ir depois. Agora eu vou ter que ir lá falar com o Otto. Rosária Meridional.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, He has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
E fica esse somzinho.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
Linhagens.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting at the village of Amber.
Careful.
Olha, tem uns chocobo. Tem uns chocobo. Arara azul. Um chocobo brasileiro.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Nothing but loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
Cara, dá pra dar uma espadada na cabeça da mãe dele logo. Essa mulher tá até agora enchendo o saco da nação inteira. Só porque o pai dele protegia ele dela. Que mulher desgraçada.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the
Puta
miller's
merda.
son?
All right, I heard you the first time.
Jovem.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions?
100? I heard there were 1,000.
You seen them, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think there was a Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another East Pool.
Then we shall be on our way.
Caraca, velho, eu tenho muito ódio dessa mulher.
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
My mother will show.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Saúde.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Manda de chocobo. Oi.
Good girl.
Tem que tocar musiquinha.
Yeah! This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Eita, caçador decaído.
Be safe. Ever since the opponent we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystals collapse?
I have an idea. You're not going to like it. Stay down! Finished! More of my mother's
Tudo
men.
bom? Vocês eu vou fazer questão de... Esses caras eu faço questão de enfiar porrada neles. Opa, mais Black Shield. Eita, tem um sangue na ponte. Tem sangue na ponte.
Blood, Clive.
Tem muito sangue.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then?
Como assim quando você vai poder se inscrever?
You have saved us the trouble of an
Já dá pra
interrogation.
se inscrever, eu acho.
To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn.
Oi, Jax, tudo bem?
On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield Presaria.
O negócio tá bem mais baixo que o jogo, mas o jogo tá muito alto ou só o negócio que tá baixo? Qual que... Você acha que eu tenho que diminuir o jogo ou aumentar a voz? E às vezes eu falo baixo mesmo, né? Tá, pera aí.
Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Ordeal. Guardians of the Flame.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Me fala se ficou bom ou não. Como é que tá agora? Tá dando pra me ouvir melhor? Minha voz ficou melhor ou não ainda?
Find something, boy.
Nice, então tá beleza. Ô, você falou pra dar sub, mas já dá pra, não dá pra dar sub? Não tem opção liberada? Que bizarro. Depois eu vou ter que dar uma olhada pra ver o que tá acontecendo. Mas também... Caraca, velho. Cara, é desgraça atrás de desgraça mesmo esse jogo. Cara, eu tinha virado vilão por muito menos.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone...
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Clive...
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
Não, vou ter que andar.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith. Come on. Faster.
Aí você vai montar no show que eu vou tocar uma musiquinha feliz.
I can walk from here.
Pra dar uma amenizada na desgraça.
I did, Mummy. I could hear him shouting from down the road.
Snow, you didn't hear anything.
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
I'm hungry.
Ou futuramente, já que você tá querendo jogar o jogo do mamaco. Depois que eu terminar esse Final Fantasy aqui.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. Let's hope my uncle fared better. That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass! My children are starving! Have mercy. Voice-ridden dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Let us in, or we'll die on your doorstep!
Better out there than in here.
Oh,
Now,
enough
fuck off.
And the chinless bastards! Those crystals belong to us all!
I said, where were you, filth? Back to your stalls. Cut you down where you stand.
Destroy it!
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in.
We need to find another way in. Agora tem que dar uma volta lá, não sei na onde. Mó trabalhão. Arrebenta o
I
portão
thought we
ali.
might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble.
Mm.
And Lazarus. We'll find our way into the city there.
If you're sure. The entire place looked abandoned. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it is abandoned.
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
O distrito Lázaro.
This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Opa. Baúzinho. Fazer carinho no cachorro, porque, né? Sempre importante.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
Ei, vou ter que bater numa galera agora.
Not.
Então, isso é uma coisa que eu tava percebendo, tem bastante cutscene.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
Legal que eu acabei de matar a galera que era meus amigos, que era do passado e tal, e daí os caras falaram: nossa, é você voltou. Deixa pra lá que você acabou de matar 10 cabas do nosso grupo aí e tá de boa.
We can speak inside.
Ah não, ele não matou, ele só deixou bem machucado no caso, né? Tudo bem que você pegar o cara, apertar ele no chão e explodir ele, não, né? Bom, enfim.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord. But in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son?
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge. Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
telling me that's the Archduke's son?
What is it you require? May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
Vamos lá então.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
So Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Bora pra batalha. Vamos para a balha.
Thank you, Sir Wade. Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village. We tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Yeah!
I got my sideways.
Come along now.
The bastards are lucky.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
Thanks, Gal.
What is it now? I told you! We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame! For Azaria!
For Azaria!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
Worms. chances. I can't say I'm flattered.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point, that this land is in dire need of cleansing.
There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him?
Too slow.
Derrotado o maluquete com uma miga, uma lança. Garra de Wyvern.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I. The plan worked.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud! My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience
Lord
would have
Byron,
appeared
nome legal.
suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter. It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
Beleza, deixa eu ir. Não me teleporta, jogo. Não me teleporta que eu vi que tinha um baú ali atrás. Filha da puta.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and
Essa parte é
crown,
legal.
I shall have thy head.
Essa parte é legal.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You
always were fond of that scene from The Saint and the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
Cara, essa cena é muito
I have a favor
massa.
to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
Pelo menos alguma coisinha legal, né?
To one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster.
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
On your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
I'd say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Caraca, o tio dele ficou feliz como não ficava há muito tempo. Não é exatamente isso.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Todo mundo gostava do Clyde.
Something on your mind?
A única que não gostava do Clive era a mãe dele.
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that Lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could.
so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
E depois de um momento feliz, um momento triste e depressivo. Porque não dá pra ficar feliz, você tem que ficar deprê. Pessoal, um momentinho só antes de começar a próxima missão, eu vou pegar uma água pra beber. Voltei.
Only the Founder knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.
Tá. Que? Ah.
Typical nobles.
How did we never
There are
hear
new
about
billets
these
being
guardians of the
posted
flame?
every day.
Clive! Oh, am I glad to see you?
Is something wrong?
It's Blackthorn. He ain't himself. And if I'm honest, he ain't been for a while. That normally it only takes a couple of drinks to perk him back up, but not this time. Something's getting him down. And whatever it is, he ain't telling. It's like he's lost his spark, you know? He's barely got enough fire in his belly to get the ump about stuff. But I'm thinking he might if we both bent his ear, because he respects you, innit? So, what you say?
Fine. If you think it will help.
Knew you'd understand.
But if he doesn't want to talk, we let him be. He'll open up when he's ready.
All right. Now, he'll only smell a rat if we both turn up at once. So, I'll go first, and you can meet us at the forge. Wait a bit, then head over when you're ready.
I could have sworn we had
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
First August, and now you. What are you pair up to? What's it got to do with me?
August was worried that something had been weighing on your mind. I thought you might want to talk about it.
Did you now? I told you not to stick your nose in my business. What'd you go and do?
Clive just wants to help, innit? What's so bad about that? Talk to him. You never know, you might feel better for getting it all out in the open. Please, mate. I'm worried about you.
Phil shut you up. It's nothing really. Stupid. Not the sort of thing you bother people about.
Why don't you tell us all the same?
Karen and I have an arrangement. I keep an eye on Goots, and she shows me what the competition's up to. Interesting arms and armor, things like that. Anyway, the other day, she shows me a cuirass she's come by. Masterpiece of level work. Light, supple, and tougher than it had any right to be. Made my stuff look like every clumsy shit. Should have brought the bastard thing there and then just to study it, but I was too proud. And now every time I reach for my hammer, I'm reminded that I'm not the craftsman I thought I was. There. You happy? You got what you came for. Now piss off.
All right. We're going. I always thought of old Blackthorn as a bit of a force of nature. Like a storm cloud full of ale. Didn't think anything could rattle him. Least of all a stupid piece of leather.
Blackthorn's always taken pride in his craft. Questioning it means questioning himself. Something tells me this is only going to get worse. If he has doubts, it will affect his work, which will only add to his problems. We need to nip this in the bud.
I couldn't agree more.
He said he should have bought that cuirass. Perhaps we should track it down for him. Assuming you're happy to help, that is.
Too bloody right I am.
Glad to hear it. First things first, then. We need to speak to Karen.
That monster's taken quite a liking to
Karen, do you have a moment? Blackthorn mentioned that you'd recently come by a leather cuirass. An exquisite example of the craft, from what he told us.
And he ain't been himself since he saw it. So we thought we'd buy it for him.
Sorry, sold it already. Didn't think Blackthorn cared for it the way he turned his nose up. But it was nicely put together, that's for certain. Even if the bloke who made it is a bit of an odd one. Happened across him on my travels. Makes all his stuff to order, but the fella who commissioned it refused to pay. He didn't like the colour of summit. So I took it off his hands for a fair price.
You don't know where we might find him, do you?
Like I said, he's a bit of an odd one. Doesn't even have a workshop. He doesn't trust hunters neither, which means he spends as much time out tracking beasties as he does working their hides.
I see.
He did tell me something, though. Apparently, his next commission's for a set of griffin hide greaves.
Here, there's a griffin on the hunt board. The curse breakers were placing bets on who'd bag it. Now, where the bleeding hell was excited? Somewhere in Sambrec, maybe. Care Northern, that was it.
Thank you, Karen. We'd be lost without you.
At least you admit it.
So, it sounds like going after that griffin might be the best chance we have of finding our roaming leather worker.
I'll leave the hunting to you if you don't mind. While you get on with that, I'll ask around the markets. See if I can't sniff out who he is and where he's hiding.
Good idea. Hopefully one of us will be able to track him down.
Legal. Vamos caçar um hipogrifo.
Typical nobles.
Ala perdida, Carnor. Beleza. Onde? Mas eu perguntei. Ala perdida a Caer Norbert. Tá. Ah, tá. Pra cá, provavelmente. Vou viajar pra cá, porque daí eu consigo procurar o outro bicho.
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled.
Look at this place.
Será que é aquele. Será que é aquela ali? Acho que é aquela ali mesmo. Dá aquela salvada pra não ter perigo de. Aruna.
If that's what I think it is, this isn't gonna be easy.
Errei desviado.
Rest well. I know I will.
Comprar as poçãozinhas que estão acabando. E daí tem que ir atrás do outro malandro.
That'll do, girl.
Welcome. An excellent choice.
Se bem que é mais fácil. É mais fácil me teleportar pra lá. Tá. Mas daí eu não entendi. Que fica pra cá? Entendeu?
Typical nobles, cowering behind their walls rather than joining the fight.
How did we never
There are
hear
new
about
villas
these
being
guardians of the
posted
flame?
every day.
Same way they never heard of.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts? Come again. I may have more for you.
Quando sabe uma trilha que conecta a ala perdida a Cair Norbert, um dos membros se deparou com um vento tão forte que torcia os troncos dos velhos carvalhos e ouviu um brilho tão terrível. Portão oeste de Cair Norbert. Isso aqui é pra cá.
Good day to you.
Como por marca.
Sid.
Talvez seja pra lá.
The crystals we get from the tail are all but worthless. It's not just the crystals. There is a
Faster!
Time to fight.
Não fight não. Deixa esses bichos pra trás.
Griffins don't exactly make for easy prey. Let's hope our craftsman hasn't bitten off more than he can chew.
Nice, tem grifo gigante. Naquela salona.
try.
Slow.
Nice. Derrotamos o hipogrifo. Tadinho.
Is something there, boy?
Eu fui salvar um cara. Que provavelmente tava lá querendo alguma coisa, sabe?
Are you alright?
Dare say I'll survive. That griffin caught me before I could get an arrow off. Must have lost sight of me in the grass, though. I'd be dead if it hadn't.
More likely than not.
The name's Camille. I'm a lowly leather worker, if you couldn't tell by the smell of me.
Not so lowly from what I hear. Do you remember selling to a merchant by the name of Karen?
She's not an easy woman to forget. Bought a cuirass from me after I lost my buyer. Quite taken with my work, as far as I recall. Didn't stop her bartering me down to a pittance, though. She sent you for a refund?
It's not her who sent me.
Well, consider me flattered.
You should be. He's a master of his art, and not an easy man to impress.
Blacksmiths are proud folk. It's a rare thing indeed for one to praise a glorified tanner. And I don't imagine an impressive swordsman like yourself would be getting your steel from any but the best. I'd dearly love to help a fellow craftsman, but... Well, actually, I suppose you could give him this.
What is it?
Treated leather. Same stuff I used to make that cuirass. If your man's as skilled as he sounds, he'll know what he's looking at.
You sure?
Well, you did save my life. And thanks to you, I'll be going home with all the griffin hide I can carry. I'd say it's the least I can do. Short of showing him how to make the thing myself, that is. But there are rules against it. Secrets of the trade and whatnot.
In that case, I'll see that he gets it.
I'd be much obliged if you would. Right. I've got some greaves to make. You send your blacksmith my regards.
Will do. And thank you. Hopefully this will sweeten Blackthorn's mood.
And with a bit of luck, Clive might even find the geezer.
Bloody busybodies, the both of you.
Você fazendo barulhinho?
How'd it go, Clive? Did you find him, or does the hunt continue?
I found him. And he asked me to give you this, along with his regards.
You're joking.
He said he wouldn't teach you how to work it, but that if you were as skilled as you sounded, you'd have no trouble understanding how it was done.
So that's his secret. Crafty bastard. He's layered and cross-grained it. Good few times, too. No wonder it's tough. And that's no ordinary oil he's used to get that finish. Oh, this is fine work. Even finer than I thought.
Yeah? I'll take your word for it. Just looks like leather to me. Still, I'm glad you're happy. Here, Clive. You didn't happen to catch the fella's name, did you?
Camille, I believe.
I thought as much. There ain't many leather workers in the realm daft enough to do their own hunting, see? And his name kept cropping up when I was asking around. Turns out he's from Tabor. And again, most leather workers are. But our friend Camille guards a long-held family secret, the details of which are the subject of some debate in the leather-working community.
Then we better keep this close to our chests.
Listen, sorry for putting the both of you to all that trouble. Should have kept my moaning to myself. Still, I'm glad you found him. This has cheered me right up.
That was the idea. Clive's idea, anyway. He did most of the work.
It's good to have you back, Blackthorn.
Just don't expect me to go turning out work like this. There's a reason he does his own hunting. He knows exactly what hides to look for. And that's how he gets them to layer up so nicely. And don't get me started on how much oiling this leather would need. But I reckon I can make something about as good. Something a Cursebreaker will have no trouble caring for. Anyway, enough narrowing. I've got work to be getting on with.
Mas é
Looks
rabugento
like we
mesmo.
won't be needing a new blacksmith.
As if there was a better one out there. Nah, it wouldn't have been the same anyway. No one spins a yarn like old Blackthorn in his cups.
Ah, por isso que os
Now
caras
that's
gostam
sorted.
dele, porque deixam ele
I've got
bêbado e
duties
ele
to
conta essa
attend to.
história legal.
Thanks, Clive.
Entendi.
You've given me my mate back.
Sim, porque quando ele não tá bêbado, ele tá rabugento pra caramba. E agora eu desbloqueei um projeto de equipamento.
Back, are ya? So, what'll it be?
Electron.
That it? Fine.
That monster's taken quite a liking to Lady Karen.
He's not a monster. He's Targle.
Vamos ver o quadro de recompensas.
Typical nobles.
How did we never hear about these Guardians of the Flame?
Depois tem aqui pro punho rompido de Rosária. Procurar esse bichão.
How may I help you today, Clive? All yours.
Por hora vamos pegar isso aqui.
Come again. I may have more for you.
Interessante, mas ainda vou ficar com com o que eu tô por enquanto. Eu queria pegar essas habilidades, mas tá difícil conseguir ponto. Bom, por hoje é isso, pessoal. Obrigado por quem acompanhou, por ter ficado aí. Uma boa noite para todo mundo. E até mais.